Hello everyone. This is the third time I've tried shooting this episode of Trust the Process. Thought I had everything backed up on my computer. They weren't backed up onto my computer, so yeah! Doing it again. Thank you. Welcome back to Trust the Process. Thank you for bearing with me. Happy holidays. I'm filming this on New Year's Eve. So happy New Year, happy all the things. I'm gonna go out a little later, live my life. I may have already started living my life a little bit. So thanks for watching. Updates. I just wrapped my run of How the Westons One Ad Out of the Box Theatrics. We finished up on the 23rd. It was a really fulfilling process. I think that's kind of the best word for it. I was in the ensemble and I played guitar, and I have come out of the process like much more confident in my guitar playing, which is really a gift. I was really inspired by the way everyone showed up to tell the story and the way that the story was put together, and I was really proud of that. I was proud of my contribution to it. I was proud of the work that everyone did in that whole process, and it was a really special group. And yeah, I got to, be a working actor in New York for a few weeks, so it was cute. Looking forward to working with all of those people again. I stayed here in the city for the holidays. Going back home to Tennessee for both Christmas and Thanksgiving was going to end up being a lot, so I just stayed here. I chilled. I saw If Beale Street Could Talk. Wonderful movie. If you haven't seen it, go see it. What struck me the most about that film was we got to see these two leads, these young, beautiful, dark-skinned, black leads kind of go from a state of innocence and in love, and there was so much light and innocence to them at the beginning of the film, and you slowly saw the process of the outside world chipping away at it until especially Tish, the character Tish, played by Kiki Lane. You really saw her go from being very much a girl at the beginning of the movie to, by the final scenes, that's a woman, and not even 12 months have passed, You see that process happening in a really visceral way, and it was beautifully done, but nonetheless at times a little hard to watch and hard to see that happen to people that are so young and so in love. But brilliant movie. Go see it. Audition season is basically here. It's basically tomorrow. Like I said, I'm filming this on New Year's Eve. This is a Monday. There are season auditions in New York on January 2nd. I would not be surprised if there's already an unofficial list started outside of Pearl right now, because it is audition season. It's that crucial sometimes. So gird your loins, get ready, pray up, get prepared, know your cuts, and try not to get caught up and overwhelmed in the madness. You can't get to everything. You're gonna have to prioritize. Just know that, and know that what's for you is gonna be for you. It's all I can say, but I will probably need this reminder myself in about 2 weeks, probably. Since we are talking about audition season, I did get a question. Thank you so much for sending a question from Deshanae Murray. I think I'm pronouncing that right. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Thank you so much, Deshanae, for writing in. She sent this via the comment section down below, just like you can if you want to send a question. But this is what Deshanae says. She says, I love this channel. You are so entertaining and informative. I have my first ever regional auditions coming up in January and February, and I would love if you could find time to make a video just about how that process works, from auditions to casting to rehearsing. Do's and don'ts, pros and cons, any tips on actors not based in NYC. Should I make a reel? Should I look for an agent? Okay, so first of all, congrats on having your first regional auditions coming up. It's a step. It's a big step. Look forward to those, prepare for those, and I hope you do your best at those. Break legs. So, the audition process. Based on your question, I'm gonna assume you're not based in New York. So I'm going to answer the question, assuming you're not based in New York. So the answer varies depending on your union status. If you are union, you're a member of Actors Equity, you can of course sign in for your auditions a week before the audition happens. You can sign up for an appointment slot. Now those slots go very fast, very quickly. They may be gone by the time you get to the sign up. That happens, that's life. You can do that if you're out of town and you are in the union. If you're non-union and out of town, you more than likely will have to decide whether it's worth it for you to come into the city for the audition on that day and hope that you can be seen if it's a union call. Now, I will say this, a lot of theaters will have specific non-union calls. So if you're a non-union, be on the lookout for those specific non-union calls, because if you come, you'll pretty much know that you'll be seen, or at the very least typed. You know that you will be considered. Now, those are a little bit more of a free-for-all in terms of how they are run. I would check websites. I would check Audition Update. Audition Update is a great resource. Sometimes even theaters and casting directors, if there's a casting office in New York that's running the audition for the regional theater, they will post on Audition Update saying, hey, we're not going to accept an unofficial list, so just line up. Or we will accept an unofficial list. They will let you know sometimes on Audition Update, and sometimes that information is on the theater's website as well. So check the theater's website, check Audition Update, and stay strong. So you ask about the audition process. Once you are seen, let's hope you get seen, fingers crossed you get seen, and let's say you get a call back. Wonderful. Yes, you get a call back. I don't think I've ever had more than 2 to 3 callbacks for a regional production before I either get the gig or don't. Not saying that is out of the question. You could more than likely, it's very possible that you could have more auditions than that. But I feel like with the regional theater auditions, they're in the city for a finite amount of time and they want to get what they need and get out, because it's expensive to have people here. So it's probably not going to be too long and drawn out of a process. You're probably going to get, a couple of callbacks, a few callbacks, maybe more if it's, a world premiere of something, or if it's a director who's very specific, or a theater that has all the time in the world and they want to see people a lot. That can happen too. But in my experience, I've never had more than 3, maybe 4 callbacks for a regional production before either hearing a yes or no. Usually the stuff that's auditioning in January, February here in New York, you're auditioning for summer jobs, late spring summer jobs. So those jobs are probably going to start, I've been looking at the dates, in the April-ish, and possibly going through some of them as late as September, October. So that is the time frame you're looking at. So usually by the time you get one of these jobs, you have enough time to plan your life and get things together. What else? Any tips on actors not based in New York City? Should I make a reel? Should I look for an agent? Okay. It is now 2019. I don't think a reel is a bad idea for anyone. If it's showing good work that you're proud of, it needs to be quality work, and the sound needs to be good, and the picture needs to be good. We need to see you. So if all 3 of those boxes are checked, it's good work, you look good, and you sound good, I don't see how a reel could hurt. Because, especially if you're coming here for audition season and you might not get seen for everything you want to get seen for, what you can do is, if you have a reel with a few, I'm not sure if you're a musical theater actor, but if you're a musical theater actor, you'd have maybe a couple of 16-bar cuts. If you're a straight actor, maybe you have a monologue or a scene that you feel proud of that you can have in a reel. What you can do is, let's say you don't get seen for something, go to the theater's website or go to the breakdown for the casting notice. Is there contact information for an artistic director or a casting director? Maybe you can send a quick email. Hey, I wasn't able to get seen for this audition. Here's a link to my stuff. I'm interested in XYZ role. Try to be as specific as possible. I'm interested in XYZ show, XYZ role. And you can send your reel with that, and maybe they look at it, and maybe they don't, but you've targeted what you want, and you've provided them with a way to see you. That doesn't really interrupt their day. So I think having a reel is great. Should I look for an agent? I'm just gonna say this, if you live outside of the city, in my experience when I've been was seeking representation, I feel that agents want you to be able to go to as many auditions as possible that they send you out on in New York City, and to be as available for them as possible, because they can happen at the last minute. So if you're living out of town, you may not be available for as many auditions as they would like, so that may be a hindrance. If you have plans to move to the city and like you have a date or something, I think definitely you can seek representation and say, hey, I'm going to be living in the city on XYZ date, starting XYZ date. I would love to maybe meet with you and discuss representation possibly before then. But if you have a date and it's solid and you know you're going to be here, it couldn't hurt to seek and start sending those things out. I will tell you that a lot of times they're going to want you to be available to go to as many auditions as possible in New York City. Those auditions can happen at the last minute. I've had days where I've gotten 2 auditions between like 2 and 4 p.m. the day before with like 3-4 pages of dialogue that I have to learn and be at the audition at 10 a.m. the next day. So like that happens. You need to be aware of that. If you're not already in the city, that can hurt. Just be aware of that, but I'm not going to discourage you from seeking representation because it can happen. So thank you so much for submitting that question. If you have other questions, feel free to reach out to me via the YouTube, via the Instagram, via all that fun stuff. I think that's pretty much it. We're going to close it out. I hope everyone has a very happy, safe, wonderful new year. 2019 is when it's going to happen for us. I know it. I feel it. Everything's going to happen in 2019. We're going to stay strong. We're going to lead with love. We're going to go for the life that we want to live. Please like, please share, please subscribe. But most important, stay in it. You're in it to win it. Trust the process. I love you guys. Have a wonderful new year. I see you next time.